Well, today's broadcast, we are so grateful to have Cristina DiGiaccomo, and I'm going to do a proper introduction of Cristina in just a moment. However, today's topic is how to supercharge and supersize, hello, your speaker success. I like a lot of alliteration, which makes me keep on my toes here, of course, with AI, with the expert in this area, thought leader Cristina DiGiaccomo, esteemed faculty member in C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So welcome to each of you for being here. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of this fine council and also the brand new C-Suite Network Women's Corporate Coaching and Consulting Council. So more goodness to come. We're all about coaches. We support you, promote you, and showcase you. So just delighted that you're here. And so yesterday and the day before, we have had an incredible 3-day challenge. And I do mean incredible because we talked about how to craft a signature speech. Everyone must have a signature speech, whether it's 3 minutes, 30 minutes, or 3 hours. Having a speech methodology and a framework in your hip pocket is critical. And yesterday we had our fantastic program about how to captivate people, captivate your audience of 1 or 1,000 or 10,000 with the power of storytelling. And so I highly recommend go back into our YouTube channel, which we now have a total of 70,000 clicks and watches and views. We're so excited that our YouTube channel keeps growing. And I tell you, this program yesterday, I know will help you shift the way you think about sharing your life experiences and your view on the world. So there we go. That's what we do in our council. And so just to go back to the beginning of our time together, we shared a speak or a talk framework. And I'm not going to get into the details of that because that was on day one. But I think, Cristina, you're going to reference some of these points of, thinking of things in a framework, of having an intro of what you want to talk about. What's the premise, the big idea, the promise? Who are you speaking to? Why are you speaking to them? What's the call to action? How do you want to transform your relationship with them and transform the experience? Ultimately, what is your goal to have the person that's sitting next to you, across from you in an audience? What do you want them to do, be, have, or transform in their life? And then, of course, having 3 key points, your main point 1, 2, and 3, conclusion, a summary, review, and a powerful close and call to action. So thinking of everything that we're doing, is it your website? Is it a discovery call? Is it a new relationship? Whatever it is, thinking in thirds. By the way, this is also very similar to the GROW model, GROW model, that we talk about all the time in our council and the Women's Success Accelerator. So I would love to introduce Cristina DiGiaccomo, our esteemed faculty member speaker today. Cristina, you are at the top of our views on our YouTube channel. Our global audience loves you, as well as our other esteemed faculty members, and your videos are the most watched on our YouTube channel. And quite honestly, followed up by Carol Kammerer, Sheila Anderson, and Susan K. Younger. Your videos are at the top as well. So I will just say we're all in the top 5 to 10, which is really great. So Cristina, you're the founder of the brand new Tech Council powered by C-Suite Network. You also have a best-selling book, Wisdom, and also about Wise Up at Work. And you're a speaker, you're an author, you're a trusted advisor to C-Suite executives around the world. So your expertise, you have really taken off with AI and how to use it, but you've been using AI before it was even popular with all of the technology that you personally introduced me to. So I'm very grateful to you. I'd like to turn over the podium to you and have you share how we can practically use AI to increase our speaker success. And so after your presentation, we're going to do a little wrap up, and I'd love for each of our attendees to share their takeaway and also their appreciation, acknowledgement of you, Cristina. So that's how we're going to wrap up. And you know what we do, we get into a topic, we have great, intense learning, action, what are we going to do next? And then we move on to the day to activate it. So, Cristina, I'd like to turn the podium over to you. And maybe we could take ourselves off mute and give Cristina some applause and appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo! Excited you're here, Cristina. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. I love doing this. Like, I just absolutely love getting, a use case or some sort of scenario where I can kind of share and nerd out, but also really enable and empower people on how to use AI properly to achieve their goals. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So our use case, our scenario is a speaking engagement. So more specifically, actually crafting your signature talk. And if you missed day 1 and day 2, that's okay. I do encourage you to watch those because I am going to be referencing a lot of that content in this particular presentation. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so not only am I out there preaching the virtues of using artificial intelligence to empower and enable content creators, thought leaders, and business leaders on how to amplify their work, streamline their work, and get them to market faster by using AI. This is all about you also being able to preach your ideas, your message, and really sharing your voice. And that's what I'm here to do today, is to really help you get out there. Speaking can be, or having a speaking career can be very daunting. And a lot of times you may have an idea or an inspired idea that'll just zap you while you're in the shower. And, by the end of the day, it's gone, right? So one of the things that I want to encourage is to just look at AI tools as a way to get things going. As Nike says, just do it. The operative word actually being just, meaning getting over that hump, meaning getting over that initial resistance or that writer's block. Okay, so right now, sharing your ideas has never been easier with artificial intelligence. So AI can help you craft your signature talk. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you how to 3 different phases of crafting your signature talk: preparing, producing, and presenting your talk, and how AI can help you with those 3 things. But just in general, AI tools can enable you to clarify your ideas, develop the elements of your talk, refine your talk, and this all frees you up to focus on what you do best: having your talk touch people's lives, really getting your voice out there. That's what this is all about. So I know that people are just really starting to implement AI tools a little bit more in their work, but I still have not yet seen, other than nerds like me, or people who are AI curious, I still have yet to see many people really fully understand or embrace this technology. And so you still have a competitive edge over a lot of other people if you want to use AI for speaking, but also other things. In addition, specifically around speaking, there may be a perception people have that it's like, I can't use AI because this is about a talk. This is about my story. This is about my voice. And I just have to say, okay, that's cool, do it long form, do it your way, while Carol Kammerer uses AI and she's like beating you out of speaking engagements because she turns things around fast. So you know, that's just the reality of the world we are in today. Okay, so the tools we're going to cover, and I'll make sure that I give links, or you know, I'll work with Kathleen to make sure this presentation is available to you and have links to these tools. But the first tool, remember what I said, it's all about making sure you have an approach, and is the actual talk framework. So I'm just going to show you quickly what Kathleen did on day one, but that's a tool. This is very important. We're going to talk, you know, I'm going to reference ChatGPT. I'm going to reference a tool called Intently, Dolly, pickfinder.ai, and otter.ai, and how all those tools sort of combine together or use standalone in order to be able to accomplish the work of crafting your signature talk. So here's that talk framework again. There's different layers to this, different sections of this: intro, premise, main point 1, 2, and 3, conclusion, and your close and call to action. And so just keep this in mind as we go along. So first and foremost, you need a process. Kathleen loves alliteration. So we've got prepare, produce, present. I think these are the 3 main sections or process phases for when you're crafting your signature talk. You have to prepare what you're going to do. You have to actually create it, and then you have to think about the presentation of it. And so what I want to emphasize is that the results of using AI for your signature talk are only as good as your approach. So what are you trying to do? What kind of a talk is it? Who are you addressing? What's your format? Is it online? Is it in person? Are you going to use visuals? Or is it going to be sort of like no visuals, you know, and what is your main message? So you have to have all of this in mind before you even hit the keyboard. Okay, so here are some ways in the preparation phase, right? Here are some ways that AI can help you. So ChatGPT is really great in terms of helping you define your purpose, right? So the purpose of the talk. So the way I've done this is I've done a prompt like, hi, ChatGPT, I really want to talk about this, and this is why I want to talk about it. Can you write 2 or 3 inspirational sentences that make what I want to do more purpose driven? Boom, right? So you got to inspire yourself here, but also begin with the language of how you're defining why you're doing this, because that's going to come, you know, that's going to be important later. You can also use ChatGPT, and I'm going to tell you about Intently in a minute, but the whole point is identifying who your audience is. So you may be having talks in different conferences with different audiences, and you may need to adapt your talk specific to their needs. So ChatGPT and Intently are really good at this. You can, you know, plug in some demographic information, category information, field information, industry information, and ask, you know, what is top of mind for this particular audience? What are they curious about? What are they challenged with? Now, Intently is a really great tool to help you search on LinkedIn. So you go to Intently, and there's a field, and you can say, I'm looking for CEOs that are talking about philosophy. And it will pull up the posts of the people who fit that role and what they're talking about. So this is an excellent research tool, and also way to connect with new people that are talking about what you want to talk about, so that you can invite them to the talk or whatever it is that you're doing. So I highly recommend Intently, super fun. You can also use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is so good at this. And that's brainstorming names, brainstorming titles for your talk. So my suggestion is maybe to do this, not to do this twice. So do this at the beginning, just to kind of give you a sense, but also do it at the end, when it's learned everything about your talk and it's developed a refinement of the language. But essentially you can say, hey, ChatGPT, can you come up with a title for my talk in the tone or format of a pun, or an alliteration? And ChatGPT will come up with names for your talk in those formats. You can also use ChatGPT to come up with themes or clarify themes. Sorry, this is a little, clarify, sorry, the idea and purpose. So again, let's say, you're doing a talk in front of technology people, and you want them to dress better. Sheila, I'm looking at you, right? So you can ask ChatGPT, like, okay, this is my audience. This is kind of what my talk is about. This is what my goal is. Is there a theme that I can use, like a shorthand that I can use to really kind of drive the summary or topic home for this particular audience? So that's some of the ways that you can use AI related to your preparation phase. Okay, any questions so far? Or are we going to just do questions at the end?
Christina, how about if we do questions at the end?
Okay.
Because you may answer the questions that our participants have in your upcoming content.
That's yes, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So now you are going to put your talk together, or a draft of your talk or an outline of your talk, whatever your process is. We are now in the production phase of your talk. So this is really the bulk of it. This is the meat of it right here. Take the framework, this guy, right? And use ChatGPT to brainstorm and produce drafts of every single step. So in other words, ChatGPT, here's the general idea and message. Make sure you include your ideas specifically in your prompting. It has to, get a really good sense. But then it's like, okay, the first step is, okay, can you create or connect my big idea with a hook? All right. Or this is, can you write out my big idea in a style that is very short and punchy? Or, wanting to elaborate on this particular part of my idea. So for every single one of these, you're going to ask ChatGPT to do that. So in other words, here's what I kind of want to convey. What would be a big idea? What would be the big idea? So, and then, continue to refine as it goes on. The other thing ChatGPT is actually really good at is creating metaphors. So there's actually, that's part of this framework, is examples and metaphors. You can ask, after you've gotten it's gotten a really good sense of what your talk is about, you can ask it, what would be a good metaphor for this? And it will tell you. The other thing it's really good at is coming up with stories or a fable related to your topic or your message. Now, I've done this and I've been completely blown away. So I was working on a talk, a presentation, and I was like, I really need a fable, like, like an Aesop's fable kind of thing. And so I asked ChatGPT, I was like, can you come up with a story, a fable with animals that teach a positive lesson around this idea? And it came up with one, and it was really cool. So that's how you can use that. So these are just some ways that you can use ChatGPT and AI to be while you're in production mode. And again, this is all about drafting. This is all about ideation. Remember, ChatGPT is your creative partner. Okay, so now we're getting into sort of the presentation part, the present part of your process. And so this is where we start to get into really refining and using AI to refine. So I really love DALL-E, which is the image creator within ChatGPT, and also pickfinder.ai to create really fun and amazing visuals that don't exist anywhere else. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes stock photography can be beautiful and amazing and really be great, but it could be a little bit too much if you're using that in a lot of stock photography in a presentation. The image in my background was done in DALL-E. And so it's a lot of fun. Pickfinder AI is actually really good with people. So if you want to do images that have people in them, pickfinder.ai is really good for that. Okay. It's going to take a little bit of work to extract copies of like your draft from ChatGPT, but do that. And then what you do is you take your draft of your talk, re-upload it to ChatGPT and ask it to write the talk in your brand tone or in your tone. So do you want this talk to be educational, inspirational, motivational, corporate, or comedic? Have it just, and make sure it says, please, make sure you say, please do not lose any of these points. Like if there are points or quotes or things that you absolutely want it to keep, make sure it knows that. Okay, this last one. So I know that with a lot of speaking engagements, you may have a time constraint, or you wanted the Oprah 3-minute storytelling format, or you're working on a pitch. You're trying to pitch yourself, and that's your talk. And you know that you have a time constraint. So this is where you can use otter.ai, which is a transcription tool where you can actually upload audio and it will create a transcription of that audio. So use Otter to record you doing your talk, because you can also just record right through Otter. Do your talk, let it create the transcript, go back into the transcript, edit any words that didn't kind of come through or that weren't clear. Then make a copy of that transcript with the timestamps from Otter, upload it into ChatGPT to refine, condense, and make sure it's on time, because you can ask ChatGPT, especially because Otter will tell you if you're over, because it's all timed. So Otter will tell you if you're, 5 minutes over your talk. And then you could go into ChatGPT and upload the transcript with the timestamps and then prompt it, I'm over 5 minutes on this talk and I need to condense it. Can you condense this talk down to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever your time limit is. But also, you can ask ChatGPT, like, I really just want to simplify all of this. Please remove passive tense. Please remove all extraneous words, adverbs, like whatever, and just it can help you condense. It can help you tweak. Here's some other tips. You can upload previous talk scripts or videos of your talks in advance so that ChatGPT learns about your voice and your content. There's also, pitches, proposals, and sales letters. You have to actually secure these speaking engagements. And I'm calling Sheila. Sheila had a story. I don't know, Sheila, do you want to jump in there about how you used ChatGPT to put together a letter?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I, with Christina's help, created a letter or a proposal to send to a group, an association that I was not even familiar with. And so I put it in ChatGPT. This is the name of the group. I did some research on their website. I grabbed paragraphs from their website for what they were about. And I went into ChatGPT and asked it to write a letter to that company, pitching me as the speaker. And it did it, and I got the job. I was excited.
Thank you, Sheila. So yeah, absolutely. ChatGPT and AI can help you actually get the gig. So awesome. Now on day 2, Kathleen talked about storytelling. So I don't want to lose out on the opportunity on using AI or ChatGPT to help you in that particular format of a talk. What you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to, my suggestion is to upload all of your main ideas, really get a good, solid draft of your talk into ChatGPT, and then say, write it in the form of a hero's journey. It may need some prompting as to what a hero's journey is, so certainly make sure you do that, but then ask it to write it in the form of a hero's journey or a brand story. So again, you can upload, and ChatGPT reads images now. So you can take the image of Kathleen's brand story model and upload that, attach that in ChatGPT so it understands that model, and then ask it, okay, can you rewrite my talk in this brand story using this brand story model? Again, always do your due diligence on statistics, research, quotes, making sure that things are referenced properly, making sure things are attributed properly, especially if you're using anything with math or numbers or dates. Just really make sure that you're super double checking that. And remember, maintain your voice. This is just to help you get over the hump. It's not the end game. You still have to kind of go through it and make it yours. But this process or using these tools is just, everyone deserves to be able to work smart, and everyone deserves to be able to be connected to their ideas and their message without having to worry about learning curves on how to do stuff. And that's why I do this. And so that's that. Thank you. I know this was a lot, and I know that I probably went fast. So you're welcome to just email me and I can help you go over these things again. Maybe we could do stuff in real time and experiment. But yeah, if you need any help at all, just don't hesitate to contact me. That's it. Thank you.
Cristina, awesome. Oh my goodness. 2 pages of notes for me from you. Thank you. Thank you. And What I'm also appreciating very much, Christina, is that you are really, what I'm hearing is you're helping us to change our mindset, which is the biggest thing for me. Change my mindset into how can I be more curious and how can I integrate AI into my work flow and everything that I'm doing, that it's not like something else I have to do, but utilizing AI really helps me think more like I have a partner always on my shoulder that's helping me. And you helped me think that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Great specific tactical things about how to prepare, how to research, how to refine, and how to optimize the work we're doing specifically with a speech. Thank you. Good, good, good.
Thank you.
Yes. So jumping in for the rest of you, what's your biggest takeaway from your time here with Christina? And let's give her some love here and some appreciation and acknowledgement of what you got out of our time together.
Thank you, Christina. I have been using it for content, but I had not been using it in terms of the preparation and putting it together in the way that you talked about. So that for me was new. And what I have found is I always make sure I copy it off, not just leave it in Chat GTP, but copy it off. So as I refine it, I know what came from them. I know what I'm doing differently. I'll frequently have it almost like two documents. One is what came in from them and what I'm developing so that I can keep it straight, because otherwise I'll get lost in my own craziness. But I love it that one of my friends says, oh yes, I put it into my virtual assistant, Chat GTP. So I thought that was pretty funny when she said that the other day.
Yeah, Susan, version control, that's very important, especially because I do recommend you use only like one thread in whatever tool that you're using. You create one task and use that task, or you create one thread and you continuously use that thread, go back to that thread. So these threads can get really long, and so it's always really good to save these things out, and have a version control system for yourself, or else you're going to be like, where was that thing? Yeah.
And the other day, I actually, because I knew I had two different threads relating to something that I wanted to pull together, I literally asked it, you did this 30 days ago and you did this at X amount. Can you put something together that would pull from both of those to, in a sense, something new? And it actually loaded it under one of them. And so when it pulled it up, I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean 21 pages? It was because it gave me something at the bottom of one of those other, the most recently done pieces, but it added it too. And so that was a surprise in having to go figure out, wait a minute, where's the answer? So yeah.
Brilliant, Susan. Thank you. Who else would like to jump in? What's your takeaway? And let's give up some appreciation. Yeah, good. Thank you. Carol, Trevor, jump in.
So yesterday we talked about the hero's journey, and the takeaway for me was that I would go and write my dad's story in the hero's journey, and Christina was holding out on me and said that ChatGPT could write that for me. So I just dumped it into ChatGPT and asked it to do two things, which was to rewrite it to make it fit in 5 minutes and to give me the hero's journey version. My story, I'll start with this thing. It's very funny, but it said, the day before he died, my dad said to my mum, Rose, get me my phone so I can call the office. Stan was a stubborn old bastard. My voice. Rewritten, it says, the day before my dad passed away, he turned to my mum and said, Rose, fetch me my phone. I need to call the office. Stan was one determined individual. And then the hero's journey is the heroic odyssey of Stan, a tale of madness in the quaint village of Stanville. So that was fabulous. A couple of other points was I don't use DALL-E. I find that the images are too artificial. I use Mid-Journey, and I can teach that to do photorealistic, and you can tell it cameras and stuff like that. That's been incredible for me. I know that ChatGPT now includes DALL-E. I enjoyed doing Pick Finder, and the first one I got was a young girl with very large breasts, and I thought that's a little bit strange to give us a speaker who is nervous. So there's some stuff in there I need to sort through. And there's one thing that I have a social media consultant, an expert, and she uses copyleaks.com and throws all the text in there to see how much people recognize that it's written by AI. So her process is to generate it, turn it back into her voice a little. She also writes for me, so she actually writes in my voice, which is quite fascinating. Then she runs it through copyleaks.com, and that actually allows you to determine how AI it is, which is a really good tool to add as well. But Cristina, I am inspired now to go have ChatGPT review a lot of my words. I've got my script and throwing it in there for my signature keynote. I do have to go back and watch day one, and I will do that, Kathleen. Thank you for that. But I'm going to put my script in there, and it's got some very big motivational things in it that are very hard for me to step out of my head and explain them. And I've had other people look at it, but I'm going to have ChatGPT look at it. So that's inspired me to do that. Thank you.
Brilliant, Trevor. I think what a good use of an hour and a half of your life, right?
Oh, yes. Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we do here.
Yep.
Right. Thank you. We've enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much, as always. Yeah. Carol, zooming in from the Big Island, we're so impressed. What time is it there right now? It's early.
It's not quite 9 o'clock in the morning. So yes, I was just blown away, Cristina. Thank you so very much. One of the questions that I have is how much of this extra stuff with DALL-E and PickFinder and stuff is available with the free version, and what is the difference between having the free version and having a paid version of ChatGPT?
Yeah. So the cool thing about right now, this may change, so you might want to get in. The paid version of ChatGPT is $21 a month. And within that, you get DALL-E, you get all these other tools for free. Here's some news. Yesterday or day before yesterday, also ChatGPT opened up a GPT marketplace. So developers and AI specialists have been creating category specific chat GPTs off of the chat GPT technology. So, that store is completely open, and there's also a lot of free stuff. So that's why I really love chat GPT. I'm not saying that like Google Bard or any of the other AIs, that are coming from big tech companies are bad. Some of the, there's a jury out when you put Gemini and ChatGPT up against each other. It's good. ChatGPT is good for some things. Bard's good for some things. But what I love about OpenAI is it's an ecosystem. So it's a marketplace. You can go in there and find things that will help you, tools that will help you. Sometimes you do have to go outside. And what I'm also finding right now, because we are in the early adoption phase of a lot of these things, these companies need data. They need usage data. They're learning how we're learning how to use these things. So a lot of the free tiers are quite robust, especially if you just need something as a one-off. If you do find something that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to use this every day. There's a couple of things where I'm like obsessed, and then you pay for it. But you know, for the most part, the free versions of some of these things are quite good because they need that data.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Sure, no
And
problem.
thank you for your leadership. You
Oh.
know, I have learned so much this year. Just amazing.
Thank you.
So I have a speech that I'm going to be writing between now and next Saturday when I'm giving it. And I will definitely be approaching this in a whole different way. Thank you so much.
Sure, my pleasure.
Boy, and isn't that the goal, right? To be approaching our work and the way that we do things in a new, fresh way where we can optimize our efficiency and our creativity. And, you know, it's a great way. So Christina, you've brought that to our council and you brought that to the world. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sheila, I know you wanted to jump in as well.
Yeah.
Biggest takeaway and
So my
up.
biggest takeaway, so many, but the one thing that I didn't know is that you could now upload a model or a photo and then ask it to, write information about it, or, here's my model. What are 3 key takeaways from this model that would, people would like to know about? So that's my biggest nugget that I took away, but I have pages of notes like Kathleen and everybody else.
Thank you, Sheila.
Great. Thank you. So Christina, parting words for our time together with you. It's been so rich and so invaluable as always. Thank you. Parting words from you, Christina.
Just go and experiment.
There you go.
You know, don't be afraid, you know, even if it's just like one sentence. Go experiment, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And I've got your back. So if you get stuck or have any questions, or are trying to do something and not sure how to approach it, just let me know and I can help you.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So our global audience and our local audience here on our Zoom call, they can contact you through LinkedIn. And is there another preferred way of contacting you?
Yeah, LinkedIn's the best.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. And let's also do a shout out for your brand new tech council powered by C-Suite Network. And that tech council is going to be amazing. I know that there's a group and there's more information on LinkedIn on that as well. So people need to get connected and then also get an invite to the launch of that. People are going to say, I was there that moment in January 2024 when Cristina and her community launched this tech council. You want to be a founding member. You want to be there when it's launched. So yeah, good. So with that, let's complete our time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, within our council, we're all about taking one small action. So we encourage everyone, me included, what did we learn today? And then what's the small one action we'll take as a result? That's the best way we can give back to Cristina. And put a post on LinkedIn. We'd love to have you activate our council, the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Put a little note in one of our posts about what you got out of your time together. And of course, we always will welcome in your colleagues, the people that you're inviting to our council. So with that, thank you very much. Bye for now. We'll see you very soon on an upcoming broadcast. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.